Oh, there we go. I kind of just shook his bicep awkwardly there. There we go. How you guys doing today? NACA Nationals 2016? Oh, that's me. That's a big screen. I look like a douchebag, right? Right? Yeah, okay. I just have to make sure you know that I know. I'm aware. I've seen mirrors. I get it. I understand. Like, I feel like before I picked up the microphone, most of you already didn't like me because vampire movies have taught you to not trust someone with my hair and bone structure. I feel like that's my look. But that's my thing. I feel like I should have like a condescending face where I can just walk into a party, eat 3 Pringles, and leave, and everyone's just like, that guy was a dick. I don't like that guy. This is exciting for me. I live in Los Angeles. I recently joined a support group for people who peaked in high school. Thank you. It's called CrossFit. So I'm doing CrossFit. Oh, you've heard of it. That's wonderful. It's really cool being up here doing comedy. I get to do comedy. I used to be a financial analyst. That was my job before this. I got fired from that job, which sucked. It wasn't my fault technically. What happened was my car got broken into and my work computer got stolen, and it was the same week that I'd been a terrible employee for 3 years, so they had to let me go. Comedian's a cool job. It's not my favorite. Like, if I could have done anything, I would have been a scientist. I feel like that's the coolest thing to be. And I'll tell you why. Because one of my favorite things in the world, the G-spot. That's not the end of that sentence. The G in G-spot, as some of you may know, stands for Grafenberg, after Dr. Grafenberg, the anatomist who discovered it, and then named it after himself. What a champ. That's my hero. Do you understand? Do you understand the difference between found the G-spot and founded the G-spot? That's one guy. That's a human being. I tried to look him up, but hard to find. Hard guy to find. It's not true. Thank you very much. My mom wrote that line. That's the thing. Here's what I do know about him. His last name's Grafenberg. That's it. That's all I need to know. I'm already a big fan of his work. Don't confuse the art with the artist. You know what I mean? I don't need to know where he's from. I don't want to know what he looks like. Really, really don't want to know what he looks like, because in my mind, I already have this image of this guy who's like barely a doctor. Like, he keeps all his like beakers and koozies, and I just see him standing there looking real smug with stirrups and a laser pointer, just like, yeah, that was all me, yeah. No, I wasn't even looking for it, just kind of stumbled across it while I was studying abroad. Shots. G stands for Grafenberg? Nah, bro. G stands for job well done. The pap smear. Not a fun thing, right? Also named after a man, a guy named Georgios Papanikolaou, which, that's a weird legacy to leave behind. Like, if I were the guy who discovered that, I wouldn't name it after myself. I would name it after someone I really hated, you know what I mean? So I feel like the real Papanikolaou was just some high school bully shoving nerds in lockers with his buddies Ron Tampon and Joey Colonoscopy, right? It goes deeper, poor wording. What's crazy is I ended up doing some research and I learned that any part of the female anatomy that is named after a person is named after a man. So all of it, Bartholin's gland, Skene's gland, Graafian follicles. Dr. Kegel was a man, as was Dr. Fallopius of tube fame, which means that it's all named after affluent male doctors. So the women's reproductive system is like the rec center at an Ivy League, right? It was just a bunch of dudes like, let's go in there and let's claim what's ours, right? That's not gynecology, that's just vaginal imperialism. That's all it is. This is a little crude, but this is a generalization too. I feel like women are a little less comfortable with their bodies than men, and I feel like part of the reason for that is because we give very ugly sounding names to female anatomy, words like labia majora, labia minora, perineum, frenulculus, clitoris, cervix. Fun fact, one of the things I just said was a Harry Potter spell. I'm not going to tell you which one. Here's my background. The reason I know a lot of this stuff is because my mother was a biologist, and my brother and I were raised to always use proper anatomical terminology, to never use slang terms for body parts. And that's okay most of the time, but every now and then it's a little inappropriate. Like, I was with my then girlfriend one time, and we were doing stuff with our bodies, and in the heat of the moment, I used the word vulva, and she had about the same reaction, just like, can't you just say vagina? And I was like, well, no, because I'm referring to the exterior parts. The vaginal canal is actually just the internal portion. The stuff on the outside, that's the vulva. She's like, just stop saying that word. And I was like, no, vulva, 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 vulva. Listen, I'm doing you a favor, okay? You can't just go around the rest of your life using vagina as an all-encompassing term for everything between your legs. That's like calling your face your throat. Okay, I got like a third of the crowd with that. That's fine. That's okay. My dream, and I don't mean to sound unappreciative, you guys are an amazing crowd, but my dream is to get to perform at an OBGYN convention, right? And close with that joke and get the loudest applause we've ever heard. People just standing, screaming, throwing pap smear kits and NuvaRings at the stage. I'm single right now. Surprise. I'm single, I enjoy being single, but I just feel like I've been single for too long. And I'm starting to pick up a lot of weird habits because I don't have a girlfriend around to just be like, hey, don't chew your fingernails, or mason jars don't double as latrines. And one of the, that makes you groan? Okay. One of the weirder hobbies I've picked up as a single man is I like to make little clay sculptures about this big or so of Pokemon. And you guys are like, okay, but what's the weird part? Here's the thing I have to tell you for the sake of the story. I don't like saying this, but they're actually pretty good. Like, they're not bad. And if that sounds arrogant, just remember what I'm bragging about. Now, here's the thing. Because I look like such a bro, I feel like I don't pull off nerdy very well. Like, I feel like as a person, I have two settings. Dumb frat boy or charming serial killer. That's it. So when you guys picture my bedroom, you probably see, like, I don't know, like protein powder and a Fight Club poster. And they're there. But now picture, in addition to that, a menagerie of handmade anime figurines and, ta-da, murder dungeon. That's my bedroom. And I had a wake-up call recently where I went on a date and it went well, and I lured her back to my apartment. And as we're walking in, I realized I forgot to tell her about this. So the first thing she sees is just 100 of these little guys just lining my shelves, overlooking my bed like gargoyles of self-inflicted abstinence, right? And in the silence that follows, you can just hear her ovaries just shump up into her ribcage like tubes at the bank. And she looks at them, and then she looks at me with fear in her eyes, just like, oh, you didn't tell me you collected toys. I was like, no. I made those. Okay, I feel like I've somewhat won you over. Now I feel like this next stuff is gonna kind of alienate you. You're college kids, you're great, you're some like the best crowds to perform for. You're so smart and young and full of enthusiasm, but you're cute with your MacBook Pros and your wrong opinions on things. I don't know, it's... People rip on teenagers, but at least teenagers know at least teenagers know their children, whereas every now and then after a show, like a college kid always walks up, it's like, what's up, my name's Devin, or something stupid. Let's talk about the economy, even though I've never paid an electricity bill. It's like, now, lost you there. I just think, I wasn't a good person in college, I know that. I was a terrible person at your age. One of the worst things I did was I was prescribed to a drug called Adderall. You guys know what Adderall is? Woo! Yeah, after party in the library. All right, no, Adderall. I didn't like the effect it had on me, so I decided to stop taking it. But I kept filling the prescriptions because apparently there's like a huge market among college kids, so I would sell it. So I was like a drug dealer, but in like the least gangster way possible, just like hanging out in the quad between classes like, hey, young blood, hey, you wanna get high? Grades? College is weird. That's a weird thing too. I'm a grown-up now. College didn't seem that weird when I was there, but now, looking back as an adult, it's just the craziest thing. Like, I can't explain how college works without it sounding like I'm pitching a sadistic concept for a reality show. Just like, here's what we do. We take human beings during the 4 years where they're most physically attractive and sexually able, then we put them in an all-expenses-paid resort with no supervision and limitless booze, and then see if they can learn. Huh? NACAs are really interesting to me. This is gonna push some boundaries. Just stay with me here, please. NACAs are really interesting for me because, like, it's amazing. The performers are all so talented, but there are a lot of people who go on stage and tell these incredible stories about how they've overcome persecution for their ethnicity, for their sexual orientation, for disabilities, and then me. And here's the thing about me, my appearance evokes many feelings. Sympathy is not one of them, you know what I mean? No one wants to hear about the plight of a guy with resting rich face. It's not very compelling, right? So the contrast makes it really challenging for me because, like, I'll be standing backstage and I'll hear the performer in front of me go out and just be like, hey, what's up, y'all? Let me tell you what it's like being a sassy transgender Muslim, right? And the crowd just explodes. He's like, yeah, you're my hero, right? And then I'm next, and I walk on stage, and I'm how you already pictured the bad guy from Her Stories. Like, the crowd's just against me, the death glare from 1,000 gender studies majors are just like, okay, all right, so what's your struggle, huh? Talk about your hardships. It's like, people incorrectly assume I'm good at lacrosse? Like, I don't... I shouldn't do this one, but okay. I feel like I have this weird thing now where I feel like I can't bring up race without it sounding bad. Like, I'm afraid to bring up race at all, to the point where it actually causes problems. Like, I used to do recruiting work, and there was this one time they sent me to Dartmouth College, and I was there at a career fair at my booth, and I saw this girl who was walking around. She was African American, very attractive, and she looked exactly like this girl I went to school with. And I really wanted to tell her, but a voice man was like, yeah, don't say that. Just don't, you don't have to mention that. So I was like, okay, whatever, I'll go talk to her. And we chatted for a little while, and I mentioned where I went to school. She goes, oh wow, Rice, long shot, but did you have a class with my identical twin sister? I was like, wow, that's crazy. I wanted to say something, but I thought I'd sound racist because you're black. And she was like, no, but now you do. Awesome. Hey, can we cue up the projector? Guys, I want to show you something real quick. I have a website, it's called mondaypunday.com. Every Monday I put up one of these drawings I did. It's a visual play on words. Anyone know the answer already? Beetlejuice, nice job. I just want to go through a couple with you guys. Next one, please. Nunchucks, nice job. Next one.
Stool sample!
Yeah, that's the spirit. That's how you yell stool sample in a room full of 1,000 people you don't know. Nice job, sir. Stool sample. It says, I get to telecommute, match 401k contributions, maternity leave, friends with benefits. Nice job. Nice job. Next one. You're good. You're good, you. What if it's all the same guy? Next one, please. Says, I'm sad they closed that other bookstore. Doctors Without Borders, nice job. Carrie Underwood, nice job. So if I were to, oh, this is a great one. If I were to come to your school, I do a little game show with this after doing stand-up. I don't have time for it now, but it's fun where there's t-shirts and prizes and duct tape. It's a good old time. This one, I'll tell you, does anyone, raise your hand if you know the answer. Fishing for compliments, nice job. 47 plus 43 adds up to 90, two 90-degree angles are complementary angles. Nerd alert in the background. Nice job, give her a hand. Next one, please. Ooh, this one's hard. J.C. Penney, nice job. Next one, please. Oh, this is a newer one. Everyone familiar with who this character is? Yes, its name starts with D, Dale. Bloomingdale's, nice job. And I think this is the last pun. Let's go to it. Ooh, this is like my favorite. You guys are too smart. It's mixed martial arts, mixed martial arts. That's the website's called mondaypunday.com. I put it one every Monday, you can go check it out. I'm gonna have some puns in the, ooh, can I get the, there we go. I have a couple shirts in the booth. Come by the booth, I have a binder full of puns, and you can try to win one at the booth. There we go. I think you've seen most of those. And booth 201, can you turn the projector back on real quick? I just want to show you guys one more thing before I go. Hey, thank you guys so much. Enjoy the rest of your NACA. Give it up for Matthew Broussard.